Hey guys, it's Zero here. I wanted to do my final video on my personal saber collection, and I wanted to do it with these guys here. Probably my most expensive saber so far, obviously because there's two of them, and if you can tell by the look of them, if you're a Star Wars fan, you know who they are or which saber they are. These are actually from Ultrasaber. Let me turn that down. These are from Ultrasaber. They're called the Menace. And yes, they are copies of the Darth Maul double-bladed lightsaber. I had to buy them separately, and I actually got a deal on them. It was like buy one, get one half off or something like that. Regardless, they were still really expensive for empty hilts. But I wanted to get them, to finish off my saber collection. I actually do have one more I want to get, but at the time, this was gonna be my last saber. And I wanted to get them empty so that I could take them to my buddy Larry Randle to add custom sound and light for them. So it comes with, he added a, I hope I get this right, NCC Spark 2 soundboard with custom font and boot sounds. And I think, he preloaded it with, each one of them they're preloaded with 3 saber fonts. He's got a custom goth 3D printed chassis inside, and a customized 28mm bass speaker here. Let me show you that there. These things are really, really loud, as you'll see in a second. And I also bought the coupler from Ultrasaber. Now I know it's not Maul's coupler, but I kind of like the design of this one, and I kind of like that it had the open ports so that you could, when you put them together, you could still hear the sound pretty good. And I'll put those together in a second to show you guys. But all in all, I actually got the high silver finish on this one. It's not the brushed aluminum. I mean, it's brushed aluminum to me, but they call it like the high finish. I don't know. It doesn't look like high finish to me, but whatever. And it's taken some, you could see it's taken some abuse. It's got all the gribblies, the little gems there. And they both have the CoverTech wheel. They make this with holes in the emitter so you can see the light through it, but I didn't want that. I just wanted the standard look. I can buy some rubber O-rings to kind of line these up, kind of like he had on his. I probably will still. Here is the actual charge port, and blade plug, where you put the blade plug. Larry actually hooked me up with some custom turbine blade plugs. Sorry, this is a charge port. So all in all, I'm really happy with this saber, these sabers, sorry, or this, whichever way you want to look at it. Albeit, again, my most expensive, very expensive actually, but it is what it is. And it's like I said before in some of my other videos, hobbies are expensive. There's very few hobbies that are extremely cheap that you could do, besides like drawing or painting, but even that costs money at some point. Maybe not as much as this, but this one-time purchase and I'm done. drawing and painting, you're continuously purchasing materials, you know, unless you steal it, you know, which I don't recommend. But yeah, so I'm going to show you guys really quickly how bright this saber is. Got the little hex screw there with the locking grub. Blade plug comes right out. See that there? It's really cool. And it's just a simple hollow plug, you know. Got my Saber Forge V4 Infinity blade here, just because of the filter or the diffusion, and I like the way it, you know, it runs through, the light runs through it. So I don't know how well the mic's picking that up, but it's actually really loud. So we'll kick this thing on. It's got flash on clash. It actually flashes green or yellowish green. There's the lock up. You can hold the button as long as you want. You let it go. You just tap it again and it stops. So you can tell, runs through the blade. Really cool. Really, really bright. So we'll take this blade out, and I will connect the two together, but I won't add the extra blade. I won't add the blades in because it's just too big to do on camera unless I'm far away. So bear with me a second here. It's going the wrong way. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Just tightening that up there. So what you do is you take your end cap off. Screw that part on. That connector came with a huge Allen key so that you could, you know, line up the spaces as best as possible. So I have it set up so that it's as close to as possible straight. I don't even know if we can get this whole thing on camera. Yeah, you can actually. So there it is. I actually, I really dig this saber, appearance-wise. It's probably one of my favorite, just because of the finish, and all the gribblies and just the way it looks, the way it was designed, you know. maybe one of my favorite. I'm not sure. I got a couple that I really fancy, but I've always wanted a Darth Maul, you know, and they've never. There's a Force FX one that I kind of like, but it's got its flaws too, and I didn't want to pay $200-300 for the Force FX saber, and I was like, you know what, I'll just get a custom one made. But as far as dueling, this is not comfortable. You could probably hold them here, you know, and if you use bow staff or anything like that, if you've used those types of weapons, you know you need a lot of space to manipulate the staff. So these buttons here all get in the way, you know. And again, the stunt props on the movie set didn't have these gribblies. The hero sabers did. They had all this crap on it, but the stunt props did not. They just had colored circles painted onto the staff so that the actor, you know, or the stunt coordinator could move across this saber really easily without catching his fingers, or, you know. And I tried spinning this just like this, and it gets in the way. These knobs will get in the way, and they just make it very difficult to do any flourishing or any overly embellished flourishing. Now, that doesn't mean it can't be done. I'm sure if I practiced, you know, I could do it. I've actually seen in person Ray Parks do it. You know, someone will come in from the audience, hand him their saber, and he will flourish it. But he is a master martial artist. He's been doing this for years and years and years and years and years. I took martial arts way back in the day, but I haven't kept up with it. You know, when my health just doesn't allow it. But if I did practice with it, probably could do it. But if my preference was given, then I would take all these gribblies off and just use it nice, smooth, you know, saber. But that is the Saber Forge Menace with custom sound and light install from my buddy Larry Randle. So he's actually pretty awesome at this. You know, you could probably find him on Facebook. You know, check my channel on Facebook. He's on there somewhere. But yeah, that is the Ultrasabers Menace ×2 with coupler. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the coupler is actually from the custom saber shop. You can actually get, because these saber hilts are compatible with them, so you can actually get this coupler from the custom saber shop. Same thing with those pommels. You can get them there too. The custom saber shop has a lot of parts that are compatible with Ultrasaber parts, which is kind of cool. That's a cool thing, you know. If that's what you're interested in doing. I had a custom saber built by Larry, and you know, he used all the parts from the custom saber shop, which worked out really well. So, you know, you could do this and buy one off of one of the websites, you know, and just buy it with all the lights and sounds. Or if you're lucky enough to know someone like I do, you know, you can buy an empty hilt and have the sound installed. You're going to pay probably a little more, but I'm going to be honest with you, the value of what you get is far beyond what you would get from one of the regular websites. You know, Vader's Vault's got some pretty nice internals, but again, having it custom done is, you know, by someone who knows what they're doing, is just the way to go for me. But, you know, it's all a matter of choice and finance, I guess. So, but if I was to give you any advice, save your money, get the hilt you want, and have someone custom install the sound. It'll just be worth that much more to you, because that sound, you can actually have them add whatever types of sound fonts you want, whatever boot up sounds, whatever, you know, saber hum sounds, clashing sounds, whatever you want, you can have them do. And that's the way to go. You know, these other companies, they can do that, but they're going to charge you an arm and a leg for stuff like that. So like I said, it's better to find a custom sabersmith and have them install the sounds for you. Stay tuned, because hopefully this week sometime I'm going to get together with a couple other saber enthusiasts that are friends of mine, and we're going to all sit around and talk about our favorite sabers and kind of just go over how we feel about the new custom saber companies that are out there. You know, because when we, you know, if you've watched my other videos on sabers, we had done a video on some of the Force FX stuff, and you know how that came along, and that came from the little plastic flashlights with the tubes, the extending tubes, you know, which, believe me, I still have a couple of those too. You know, if you're a saber fan, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, we're gonna go over some of our custom sabers and what we like about them and things like that. So stay tuned to the channel. Hopefully I can get that video to you guys real soon. And I appreciate you guys sticking with me. All right, guys. Thank you for watching.